Hello again. I'm Joe Connolly with another story on how small businesses grow sometimes into much larger ones, brought to you by Dime Community Bank. I want you to meet Don White, co founder of Satisfy Labs, who we first met at a WCBS business breakfast when he was improving early chatbots to help businesses answer customer questions and so forth. And now he is deploying AI for much more advanced uses by businesses. The Mets and the New York Giants are among his clients now. And Don, explain what your business has advanced to now.
Yeah, when we started, it was literally just how do I find food at City Field? That was literally the original idea. It just morphed into a digital employee. So you think about staffing, and our focus is sports, entertainment, and tourism, like the two that you mentioned. So how could me or my family go visit or experience something and make the most out of our experience, but also buy the most things that we want? And so by creating this digital employee in your pocket, per se, the AI is just able to meet all your needs and do transactions right on the fly.
So it is, in a way, for layman's terms, a super advanced chatbot.
Yeah, we have filed two patents on the proprietary tech that we built. We work with companies like OpenAI. We have Google as an investor in the company. So it's a best of both worlds where you need to build what's right for your use case or our use case, which is some specific tech for those industries. But you also have to partner with the best tools available just so you have the right solution for your client.
What is neat about what I read about your new product is that the business can be certain that everything the system says is unique to their brand and within their style and beliefs and attitudes.
We spent about 6 months on the control and de-risking some of the technology tools available. So there are just times where generative AI, which is the hot topic now, isn't actually the right thing. So our first patent that we filed was about, it was called the context response system. Hey, how do I get the best answer for this customer, fan, etc.? Sometimes it's a person. Sometimes it's to sell them a ticket. Sometimes it is to generate an answer from content. So there's a lot of noise about generative AI. It doesn't mean that 100% of the times that's the best AI to use.
And Don, I just have to ask, with so much interest in and questioning about AI, what do you say to those who say AI is plagiarizing others' work or it's going to do something bad to society?
Every tool can be misused. I could take a hammer and smash my foot, or I could smash your window. I mean, there's just the application of things shouldn't dilute the value of things. And so I do see where bad behavior is going to happen. I think the human race is very capable of that. But there are a lot of companies now that are rising up to prevent those things, to either de-risk or dilute some of this technology. So I think that the tool is good, but we have to protect ourselves from the bad behavior.
So there is work being done to de-risk AI. That is also a new growth area at the same time as this.
Yes, I think many people are paying their lawyers a lot of money right now to see things like new terms and conditions, new language in when you enter a website. If you're talking to a machine, it has to identify itself as a machine. So there's a whole new legal cybersecurity business that's going to start out of the generative AI evolution.
Fascinating. Here's Neil Caruso. Neil.
Joe, thanks. And Don, great to see you again. It's a good thing you were ahead of the curve on this whole thing because now these companies are using it in the day-to-day. We heard so many stories over the summer about AI in the workplace. Where do you see things headed? I mean, where are the pros that it's being used now in the workplace, and how could that impact jobs?
Yeah, the job market's going to shift. Our mission statement is to make conversational AI hireable, and the imagery is an org chart where you think of it, your staff right now as, we have 55 full-time employees. I need to think of it as 55 full-time employees that are human and potentially 10 that are AI. And just like you have a manager over 3 or 4 full-time employees, you'll have a manager over 4 employees and an AI or two. So it really needs to be thought of as an entity, and it will first start as a supplement. Will AI be managing AI? That's something that we're honestly working on, like AI is supervising other AI. So it is going to be like a peer group with humans and AI working together.
I read, Don, that a lot of big corporations are now using chatbots in terms of keeping track of inventory. So a lot of supply chain issues during the pandemic. I'm sure companies have a little PTSD from that. Where do you see that being used, and could that solve some supply chain crunches down the line?
Yeah, the simplest application of the chatbot now is it can take information and put it in a Q&A format. So everything that you could think of from a data perspective, whether it be supply chain, whether it be what's on your website, whether it be offers and discounts available, anything now could be conversationalized, made up word, take credit for it here. And that means that now information is more accessible. More accessible means better decision making. We all want perfect data. Well, getting the best data available in real time is the first step. So you're going to see a lot of technology on the interface and the user experience to make sure that we're getting that accurately in front of our face.
Joe?
Just one other question, Don. What advice would you have to business owners to do what you have done, and that is to increase sales, grow fast, and sign up large companies as clients?
Yeah, it's I cry a lot, I think is a true a true statement. There's a lot when you have the pressure. We started with a room of like 3, and now we have the size that we do. We started with 1 client, now we have almost 500 clients. It's really tenacity. I mean, at some point in time, you have to believe that the team that you have or the team that you can acquire can do things that are much beyond the expectations of your group. And so our team struggled through COVID, we kept the whole team together. We kept our clients for the most part, and then the ones that left us came back. So you have to have a belief in what you're doing is different enough and that you're good enough to actually impact a market. When we went into sports, we thought we could be the best, and then we expanded into entertainment, now tourism. So if you don't think you could be the best, quit. But if you think you have a shot, then just don't give up.
How did you have that belief? Had you run your software over and over, or did you just kind of hope it worked, kind of like Jobs and Wozniak said they did a little bit? How did you build that confidence point?
My co-founder, Randy Newman, technologist out of CIBC, out of banking. So we both had some background in electronic trading technology. We have a joke that I would draw a slide and go tell someone it would work this way, and then run home to the office and say, hey, they bought it, now make it work this way. And so a lot of my belief and confidence is in him, candidly, and the people that he hired, that if they could make a dream come true technologically, we would continue to win. And so I give him a lot of credit for that.
I think you told me one time that you went on your first sales call and they said we wanted to meet your staff, and you brought all 3 employees or something, or every employee you had to impress
We
the
had
client. Is that right?
It was at Macy's. We were early partnered with Macy's, a press release about that, and they wanted to know that we were big enough to handle them. And so when I brought the other 2 people, I said, well, is there anyone else you need to see? And they said, well, is there anyone else for us to see? And I don't lie. So I said, this is everybody. They still went with it. It was a fantastic partnership. But yes, sometimes you got to talk big, but also be honest. I think that's an important thing.
Don, it's great to talk to you again, Don. Don White of Satisfy Labs. Thanks. Continued success.
Thank you both.